Look around the room you are sitting in right now. What do you see? You probably see walls, furniture, a television, and the light filtering through the window. What do you hear? Maybe the faint hum of a refrigerator, the distant sound of traffic, or the quiet rustle of the wind. You assume that your dog, resting quietly on the rug just a few feet away, is experiencing the exact same ordinary, silent room. You think you are sharing the exact same reality, but the truth is, you are not. Right at this very moment, your dog exists in an entirely different sensory universe. They are sitting right next to you, yet they are picking up on a microscopic world of invisible chemicals, hidden frequencies, and biological rhythms that human biology is completely blind to. Today, on Bonded Tales, we are going to dive deep into the fascinating world of canine behavioral neuroscience. We are going to explore the 6 strange, incredible, and deeply moving things that only your dog can see, hear, and feel. And by the time we reach the final point, you will realize that the animal sleeping on your floor understands your physical and emotional body far better than you do. Number 1. They can see the chemical loop of love inside your eyes. When a human looks at another human, we simply see eye color. We see a facial expression. But when your dog stops what they are doing, sits down, and looks deeply into your eyes, they are engaging in a microscopic biological exchange. In 2015, researchers at Azabu University in Japan published a groundbreaking study in the highly prestigious journal Science. They wanted to measure what actually happens in the brain when a human and a dog make prolonged eye contact. They measured the levels of oxytocin, the exact neurochemical that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn infant for the very first time. It is the biological source code of love. The researchers found something extraordinary. When your dog gazes into your eyes and you gaze back, both of your brains experience a massive, simultaneous surge of oxytocin, crossing the boundary of 2 entirely different species. Your dog's oxytocin spikes, which makes them want to gaze at you even more. That sustained gaze triggers your brain to release more oxytocin, causing you to stare back. It creates what scientists call a self-reinforcing neurochemical loop. They tested this exact same interaction with wolves that had been hand-raised by humans since birth, but the loop never activated. This is not a general animal trait. This is a biological gift that co-evolved exclusively between dogs and humans over 15,000 years. When your dog stares at you from across the room, they are not just looking at you. They are literally seeing and feeling your love on a chemical level. Number 2. They hear the hidden rhythm of your nervous system. You might think your heartbeat is silent to the outside world, buried safely deep inside your chest. But to your dog, it is a loud, clear, and constantly broadcasting rhythm. In 2024, a landmark study from the University of Jyväskylä in Finland monitored the heart rate variability, or HRV, of 30 dog and owner pairs. HRV is the gold standard in medicine for measuring how your autonomic nervous system is functioning. High HRV means you are relaxed. Low HRV means your stress response is activated. The researchers discovered something breathtaking. When you are close to your dog, especially when resting or sleeping side by side, your nervous systems actually synchronize. Their heart rate patterns deeply correlate with yours. They can literally hear and feel the exact moment your body shifts from stress to peace, adjusting their own heartbeat to match yours. When you are calm, they are calm. When you are stressed, their nervous system immediately mirrors that tension. The researchers tested this with strangers, and the synchronization completely vanished. This means that sleeping next to your dog is not just a comforting habit, it is a neurological event. 2 separate nervous systems from 2 different species are actively co-regulating and soothing each other through the dark. Number 3. They can see the invisible weight of your stress and grief. We humans are very good at hiding our emotions. You can put on a brave face, smile, and pretend everything is fine after a terrible day at work. but you cannot lie to your dog. In 2019, a team at Linköping University in Sweden measured the long-term cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone, in 58 dog owner pairs. They didn't just look at a bad moment, they measured the slow hormonal accumulation captured in hair samples over weeks and months. They discovered an absolute synchronization. Stressed owner, stressed dog. Calm owner, calm dog. And when they looked at who was transmitting the stress to whom, the answer was clear. The owner's cortisol predicted the dog's cortisol, not the reverse. Your dog does not just see your facial expressions. Through their heightened senses, they perceive the chemical accumulation of your stress in the air. Furthermore, a landmark study from the University of London found that dogs approach people who are crying significantly more than people who are talking or humming. And they approached with submissive, comforting body language, regardless of whether it was their owner or a complete stranger. They track your breathing patterns. They notice when your movements slow down, when your voice drops, and when your energy shifts. When you are anxious or grieving, they cannot fix what is wrong. But they see the invisible weight you are carrying, and they refuse to let you carry it alone. Number 4. They hear the terrifying countdown of your departure. While we move through our house blindly, your dog sees the future of your actions before you even realize you are taking them. In the 1980s, veterinary behaviorists Borchel and Voith documented something that has been confirmed repeatedly since. Dogs use classical conditioning to chain your entire morning routine backwards. They see the specific sequence. You check your phone. You put on your shoes. You pick up your keys. Repeated hundreds of mornings in a row, these actions have become a signal. To us, these are just random actions. To a dog, these visual and auditory cues are a terrifying countdown. By the time you reach the door, some dogs are already panting. Some are pacing, following you from room to room like they know exactly what's coming. They aren't afraid of your shoes. They are afraid that you will never come back. Hidden cameras installed by researchers at the University of Milan in 23 homes revealed what happens next. On average, vocalizations like whining and howling begin exactly 3 minutes and 15 seconds after the door closes. Destructive behavior begins within 7 minutes. And the panic does not simply fade away. Researchers found that this distress cycles over and over, with a new spike of movement or vocalization every 23 to 28 minutes. They hear the silence of the empty house, and they spend their day in an endless loop of anticipatory stress, waiting for the sound of your return. Number 5. They see the subtle signs of trust and respond with hidden language. Because they are constantly observing you, your dog communicates back using physical signals that most owners completely miss. Have you noticed your dog pressing their body weight against your leg while you are standing in the kitchen or sitting on the couch? Most owners just pat them and move on. But Dr. Stanley Coren, a leading canine psychologist, documented that this body leaning is a profound trust behavior. It is the canine equivalent of reaching out and holding someone's hand. They are anchoring themselves to you because you are their safe place. Or consider when your dog brings you a toy the moment you walk through the door. Research from the Family Dog Project at Göteborgs University found that this is a behavior called referential gifting. They are not asking to play fetch. They are so overwhelmed with relief that you have returned, they feel a biological need to offer you a piece of their world. They even use yawning, not because they are tired, but as a primary calming signal when they feel overwhelmed, as identified by animal behaviorist Turid Rugas. They see your every move, and they are constantly speaking to you in this quiet, physical language, hoping you will understand. And finally, number 6. They hear the microscopic shifts in your sleep cycle. Have you ever wondered why your dog is often awake and staring at you the exact second you open your eyes in the morning? It is not a coincidence. Research on canine sleep cycles reveals that bonded dogs actually lighten their sleep in the early morning hours, unconsciously matching their owner's sleep patterns. While you are deep in sleep, your dog is listening. They hear the microscopic changes in your breathing. They hear the subtle rustle of your sheets. They hear the shift in your heart rate as you transition from deep REM sleep to wakefulness. So, if your dog is already watching you before you have said a word, already getting up before you have swung your legs off the bed, that is not random. That is a dog who has been quietly waiting for you. They fell asleep thinking about you, and their very first thought when they woke up was to be ready for you. Your dog is not just an animal living in your house. They are a brilliant, highly evolved observer. Through 15,000 years of evolution, they have tuned their eyes, their ears, and their neurochemistry to perfectly perceive one thing: you. If you want to understand more about the deep science behind your dog's behavior, subscribe to Bonded Tales. And tell us in the comments, what is the strangest thing your dog seems to just know about you? Thank you for being their entire world.